tracking down an old high school sweetheart is a request that all private investigators get at one time or another. A lot of people are doing it themselves now, especially with social media being the way it is. But with privacy becoming a greater and greater concern, more and more people are opting offline out of those social media platforms. And people are coming to a brick wall trying to track down a sweetheart. Well, I got a question in the mailbag from someone who's having this exact problem, and I'm going to change the names, but it came down. I'm searching for a junior high school classmate from 1984 in such and such a state. Her name is so and so, and it's a commonish name. It turns out there are a lot of people by this name in this state. How do I get precise name and date of birth for someone who I've not seen since that time? All right, this is actually a very simple thing to do. The number one thing I would say is, first of all, you have an approximate date of birth because you know when she was in school, in this case, junior high, but a high school sweetheart, you know her approximate age, and that's going to eliminate a lot of other people with that same common name when you just look at date of birth using sources and methods like I teach in the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Missing Persons and Fugitives. It can also be used for tracking down old sweethearts. But there are a lot of public records out there, including, say, for example, traffic citations, automobile accidents, criminal cases, large and small. You'll have a date of birth attached to that name. So when you find the common name, you say, is this my right person or not? If the birth date, the year, is way off, then you can eliminate that person off your list and spend some effort working for another person. The very next thing I would advise is look at old city directories. These are commonly held at a large library in your area, and they go back really into the 1800s, right? Very common by the 1930s. They were just in all major cities. So wherever you are, there's going to be a city directory. In this case, we're talking about 1984. Go ahead and pull directories from that period, 83, 84, 85. You're going to find not her because she's a minor and their minors just aren't going to be listed there. But in this old city directory, you're going to find all sorts of people with that last name. Now, what you can do, there's 3 sections to a city directory. Number 1, look in the alphabetical directory and find the people with that last name. Then look at those addresses and say, okay, is this somebody who would go to that school? Well, no, they're too far away. They're in a different suburb. You can start to eliminate possibilities there. So you have a nice list of names to start with that's going to be, oddly enough, especially back then, fairly thorough list of people who were living with that same last name in that city. After you've eliminated people who are geographically not quite right for going to that school, you have this list left. Now, searching for those people who one of those families you're hoping is going to be the parent of the person you're looking for. Tracking down, again, when you're looking for a specific person, especially someone who's dropped out off of social media for one reason or another, finding a family member, a parent in this case, will be much, much easier. So now you can begin to look at these people and do, again, your normal skip tracing type things to find these people, and then discover, do they have family members that have a name that matches? And especially if one of those parents is dead or more, there will be an obituary listing a bunch of family members. And if your sweetheart that you're looking for is in that list of family members, you'll have not only a solid lead on where she is and her parents, but you're going to have a lead on if she's got married or changed her last name, because that will be listed in the obituary as well. I've done these exact steps over and over again to find long lost sweethearts and just classmates and people from kind of back in the day. You'll also find it helpful for doing if there is a Veterans Administration type claim and you're trying to find somebody. This can be a helpful method for you as well. Those old city directories, man, it seems old school, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of valuable information in them, and it can serve you very well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. In the meantime, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.